However, the work that, invited the most trouble for him, for which he was actually detained in December of 1977, was his play Ngahika Ndinda, which translates to "I will marry when I want." So this play was set in the Kenya shortly after independence, and it explores the legacies of colonialism and the difficulties that Africans in Kenya faced at the time by using themes of, class struggle, poverty, gender, culture, religion, modernity versus tradition, and marriage and family. So it was actually performed at Kamerutu, his hometown, for 6 continuous weeks before it was shut down by the government. So it was a very popular play, and that's why the government stepped in, and it didn't like, I think, the fact that it was raising up all of these questions of, how colonialism was still sort of being propagated, and attacking the Kenyan government in a sort of implicit way. So he was detained for this play. And this was also around the time that Ngũgĩ led the effort to actually forgo English literature in favor of literature in African languages, whether it be written or oral, at the University of Nairobi, right? Ngũgĩ was actually probably best known for his philosophy on the role of language in the fight against cultural imperialism. That is the, destruction of African languages, the destruction of customs and traditions that colonialism brought with it. So sometime in the late 50s or mid to late 60s, I believe, he made the decision to completely abandon English and write his books in Gĩkũyũ, his native African language. And as an African writer, he truly believed that his and the tasks of other African writers, and the aim to resist this cultural imperialism, was to engage with their African languages and develop them in the same way that Pushkin and Tolstoy did for Russian, or the way that, Shakespeare did for English. So this is what I mean when I say, he was waging the struggle against colonialism and imperialism on the cultural front.